let's talk for a minute about elevated cortisol all the time that then crashes versus cortisol under stress periods that are induced for short periods of time. If your cortisol is out of balance all the time, so like you're someone who your cortisol, basically you're somebody who's fasting, you get up, you have a cup of coffee and you go for a run or you go straight to the gym. You have just asked your body to dump cortisol into the system to get your blood sugar level high enough to do those activities. Some people are going to tell you that's fine and that's the way you should do it. I'm going to tell you that if you're doing it all the time, you're going to create a problem. I was watching a video of a woman who I respect a lot. She's someone who I got to know a little bit on a personal level, on a business level, and also in the bodybuilding world. And I really respect her, but I think she made a poor statement and poor assessment when she released a video a couple of days ago. In the video, she said cortisol isn't your problem. Cortisol isn't your problem for losing weight. Cortisol isn't your problem for your health issues. Cortisol is not the problem. And I was like, whoa. Where is this coming from? And she went on to say that bodybuilders put themselves through intense training all the time, and they are under high loads of stress all the time, and especially when they are on prep. And while that statement is true, the other thing that's true is that while they're not on prep, like the 3 weeks that they are not on prep, they are actually over-fueling their bodies to build muscle. So they have more reserve, and they're eating like 6 to 8 meals a day. The ones who are really invested in building muscle so that when they do go through their cut, whether it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they are also getting close to 200 to 300 grams of protein a day. So they're giving their body tons of little amino acids that it can pull from later, plus they're putting on body fat so that they can pull from later. And their body has plenty of things to pull from. Then they go into prep and they put their body under stress. A little bit of stress the first week, a moderate amount of stress the second week. And that third week is hell. It's like 16 ounces of water a day, maybe 32 if they're lucky, and no more than like 600 calories. And they're still working out. And yes, they lose weight. Why? Because it's such a short period of what they were trying to obtain. The end result of prolonged adrenal stress is low testosterone, poor balance between testosterone and estrogen, potentially pushing yourself into menopause if you're a female at a young age, and also muscle wasting. The long-term detrimental effects can go as far as Cushing's or Addison's disease. And that's, funnily enough, Western medicine says there's no such thing as adrenal fatigue until you blow up your adrenals and you've got Cushing's or Addison's. Never mind the symptoms leading into it. Let's ignore those because I can't give you a pill for that. I have to tell you to change your lifestyle. And wait until you have a disease that I can operate on or over-medicate. This quarter of business for me has been so interesting because I have seen, literally a 29-year-old woman whose hormones look like she's in menopause. I have another, I don't know if she's 28, 29, or 30. She has tanked her hormones and her adrenals, and her Dutch test shows that. I didn't do the Dutch test, somebody else did. Another 26-year-old female who's in menopause due to tanking her adrenals due to not eating. A 38-year-old who put herself into menopause, again, with poor nutrition and adrenal habits, where her grandmother, her mother, all of her aunts didn't go through menopause until mid to late 50s. And yet there are people out there saying cortisol isn't the problem. Ignore your cortisol. Have you ever seen somebody who's truly running their life on like caffeine and electrolyte drinks? They don't look healthy. It kind of reminds me of the song, I don't know, it's like going on the radio right now. Caffeine and cigarettes is part of the line. I've seen somebody do that to themselves, and they literally at less than 45 died of a heart attack with grandparents in their hundreds. It matters. The whole balance matters. And if you learn nothing else from this channel, if you're a female, get at least 90 grams of protein. If you're a male, get at least 120. If you want to build muscle, those numbers are going to look like women, 120, men closer to 150. If you want to be really healthy, you're also going to focus on getting 15 servings of vegetables a day, with almost all your fiber coming from vegetables. Maybe a quarter, literally a quarter of a cup to half a cup coming from grains a few times a week. Like, did you know that 2 ounces of pasta is actually a serving size of pasta? And you might throw in 4 ounces of fruit a day. All the studies that are talking about the benefits of caffeine are talking about an 8-ounce cup. That is a short cup of coffee if you go to Starbucks. It's not a tall, that's 12 ounces. It's definitely not a grande, that's 16. And it's certainly not a venti or a trenta. Those are 20 and 30 ounces, respectively. Your body needs fuel, actual food, to fuel you through the day. Your body needs real food to fuel you through the day. You want to try and grow another human being? You need to feed yourself. You want to try and look better in the gym and have your workouts be successful and get that sculpted, toned tissue that you want? You need to fuel yourself. You want to, in general, have more energy and stop feeling tired and sick all the time? You need to fuel yourself. And then you need to sleep. You need to find a way to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. You need to start training your body in 10-minute increments of going to bed earlier or getting up later or something that helps you get that 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Everyone talks about someone else fixing the healthcare in this country. They keep pointing a finger at someone else. I'm going to point the finger right at you. You are responsible for your health. If you're drinking more caffeine than you are water, you have a problem. If you're not getting enough protein, you have a problem. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, you have a problem. And no one can fix that for you. That has to come from within. If you're looking to shift your beliefs around food and nutrition and supplementation, book a consultation. I'm happy to work with you on the mindset pieces.